Yo.
Hey.
What up, dude?
Welcome to the new meta, episode 35. My name is ThaPChild.
I'm Lord Fluffy.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Brand new stream room.
I see that. It's looking pretty back there. What do you have behind me today? This is kind of dirty.
Look at that. Dirty. It's pretty.
Oh, it's happy birthday. All right. I wasn't sure what that was going to say, so I was scared.
How dare you assume that I would throw you under the bus?
I thought I was getting thrown under the bus.
Dare you?
I thought I was getting thrown under the bus.
Never have.
Happy birthday. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
The big 3-8.
Appreciate that. Big 3-8.
I can't wait till I get there.
I had an interesting birthday, man. It was fun. It was fun.
What'd you do?
I went to work like usual. That was kind of lame.
Gross.
But then I went to dinner with the fam. That was cool.
Nice.
And then my wife agreed to come on stream. She talked to me on stream, audio. She didn't want to get on camera.
Sure.
But it was fun. So I let chat ask her questions, and let me tell you, chat is absolutely brutal.
This is news?
No. So yeah, it was interesting. Interesting time. I'm sure you know about it though. I'm sure you
we watched it on stream. It was nice. You done fucked up somehow. I don't know what you did, but
yeah. So a quick recap for those of you listening that may not know. And part of this Ask P Wifey question segment that I did on my birthday stream, my wife ended up reading a love letter that I had written to her, like, God, it had to have been 12 to 15 years old, that she stores in a shoebox up in her bedroom. It was embarrassing. And there was absolutely, to be honest, there was absolutely no way I was going to let her read that. But chat just kept begging. And I knew if I didn't do it, they would ask every single day forever. So I was like, do it. So mighty embarrassing.
Well, so now there's no problem with releasing that photo of you in the dress, right? That you've been promising for quite some time.
We can work on. Did I lose a bet and I was supposed to cough that up? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think we've placed a bet
accurate.
on it yet.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't remember the bet. So maybe. Yeah, we could place a bet on it. We could do something. Maybe.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, man? I see you got some nice fancy stuff behind you, dude.
Yeah.
It looks like a badass streaming studio that you built, dude. Looks good, man.
Best stream room on Twitch, guaranteed. You see, there's the rest of it.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, snap. He's got the multi-camera going. Looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Took a long freaking time.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's worth it.
Awesome. So it's been an interesting week. We had some polls. Let's start this podcast off. Let's talk with the polls. What do the polls say?
All right. So last week we asked, will the XP meta shift next season, season 16? And the people said no. 21 votes no. 13 votes yes.
I disagree slightly, only because I think it's going to shift because people are sick of playing the current meta.
Okay.
Not that it's going to be more. I don't think it's going to be more efficient. I think people are just tired of running rats. So I think it will, quote unquote, change. The majority of people won't do rats. They will do something else.
Okay.
I hope.
Sure.
I really hope. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I feel like people will try as hard as they can to figure something out.
Yeah, meta does mean, the best method. So I guess technically, no, it probably won't change. But I don't think people are going to run rats that much.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I think people are going to try the charge bar variant that we saw a lot in PTR first and see if it got nerfed too hard. But, Lon also got buffed, so something could develop out of all of that as well. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting. So I really hope. This is something that I was going to talk about a little bit later, but it ties in. The patch just hit, I believe, how long ago? Hour,
2 minutes
maybe,
before the stream started.
Oh,
No, it was supposed to be 1 hour and it took 2. So
yeah. So the patch just hit. I haven't logged in and played yet.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? I know we talked about it briefly last week. I was really kind of hoping it was gonna take them an extra day or so to get it out.
Sure.
I don't want people to have time to figure out new metas. I wanted to do it in the season, and I think there's enough time now that people are going to have a really good idea of what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Yeah.
By the time season hits.
Sure.
So,
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm quiet. Can you juice me up a little?
You're up all the way. You're blowing out my eardrums. But
I'll try to talk loud, Chet.
But yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I think that, yeah, obviously the lawn could mix things up, but if I kind of like to have an idea of what I'm going to play going into the season. Like, I like to be efficient with my time, especially like the first week of the season. So yeah, I mean, I like the meta to be figured out beforehand so that I can be like, okay, well, DH is insane this season, so I guess I'll go DH for that first week and try to get as much Paragons as I can while everyone's like really excited and really stoked about the game. Just be like, rank 1 Paragon for a while or something. But
yeah, do you think you're going to end up pushing for a long time? Do you think that this is going to keep you for the entire season, or do you think you're going to burn out and start going back to COD and PoE and other games?
I mean, I haven't got a game a lot. I mean, so I'll probably juice this season out pretty hard. We'll see. I don't know though, because Necro didn't get really anything besides lawn, and lawn's like my least favorite thing to play. So I don't know. We'll see how fun the other classes are, or whatever develops out of this lawn change. So
yeah, I'm with you on that. I kind of feel the same. It's really hard for me to judge how long this season's going to hold out for me. I think that potentially, I think the first probably 6 to 8 weeks is going to be really good. And the season is supposed to be a short season. So that could work really well. So I'm happy for that. If this were a full 3-month season, I think I'd probably start to fizzle out by the end, but we'll see. And then I'm assuming that this is a short season, they can't repeat the seasonal buff again next season. So hopefully within the next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll have some kind of announcement on the seasonal theme for next season. So I think the shortened seasons could be awesome if they continue this 2-month cycle. So if we play the season for 4 to 6 weeks, we get an announcement for the next season, maybe even a PTR towards the end to test out that buff and continue that cycle. I think that could be better for the game. I don't think it's going to fix the game, but it could be better for the game.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
Obviously updating the game is going to make it more relevant, but I could definitely see them just chilling out for the next couple seasons, especially depending on what they're going to show us next season. Right? Like,
yeah.
This is Aurora buff, and maybe next season we get weapon free or something. So
convention of elements for free.
Ugh,
calling it now.
Worst.
I'm calling it now. What's the poll for next week? Let's go ahead and toss that out there for people to mull over and go ahead and take it and see if they,
Yeah, so we kind of asked this already, but I wanted to revisit now that the stats got changed on a few of the sets and long got buffed. And we have the whole week to vote on this, so maybe as shit develops this week, people will change their mind or whatnot. But I wanted to give people an opportunity to kind of revote what they're playing in Season 16.
Yep.
Necro, Witch Doctor, Monk, Demon Hunter, Wizard, Barb, Crusader. What do you think?
Yep. I was pretty set on Demon Hunter until last night. Last night, I made an Impale Demon Hunter this week, and it was a crappy gear set I threw together. It was complete garbage, but I played it a little bit, and it's like, that's okay, all right, I'm feeling it. Then the Challenge Rift is a Wave of Light Monk, and I played it, and I was like, man, this is just more fun to me than Impale. And then so I was streaming last night and talking with chat, and it's just, man, I'm not set on Demon Hunter. Probably Demon Hunter, but there's a small window for me to sneak a monk in there. Either way, I think both of those characters are going to fit into whatever metas form from this. I think Demon Hunter is going to be RGK, at least in some version of Speed, higher, greater rifts. Yeah. And then I think Z Monk is going to be in everything. So
obviously,
like everything.
Right.
So I could play that if I wanted to do Inna's Wave of Light. So that's what I'm leaning towards, man. I think Charge Barb would be fun in the speed meta if that becomes a thing too. Yeah. So, but I honestly see myself playing probably 3 characters this season, even though it's a short season.
3.
I could potentially, I think it'd be fun to play Crusader a little bit. And and Monk and Demon Hunter probably for sure. And then I think it'd be fun to be a Hammerden a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a fun set to play. And especially when we have the Royal Ring buff for free, it just opens the possibilities up a little more. So it kind of makes me want to fit a couple extra characters in this season.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, dope.
And about you? Necro, for sure?
I still have no idea, man. I really have no idea.
You're not set?
No.
Are you going to let chat pick on the night?
I mean, I literally just came back tonight, like 3 hours ago. So I feel like incredibly disconnected from Diablo because I haven't been on in a couple weeks. So
yeah,
I don't know. Yep. It kind of depends on what's going to be. I probably so say rats are still the best. I'll probably start a Necro, grind out stupid amount of Paragon, like when everyone's real excited for that first like week or whatever, and then like make my own character and kind of split off and do solo stuff like I usually do.
Yeah,
just to get that boost and get the highest rank I can.
I see that.
So
the patch was supposed to go live today.
Yeah, and it did. Just barely.
And it did go live today.
Right before the freaking podcast. Thank you, Blizz.
What about, like, are you surprised they had issues? Let's stack this up, man. We had PTR, unsuccessful launch time.
Yeah.
Buggy when it did go live.
Yeah.
Instability when it was live.
Yeah.
The Tristram event for the third year in a row had
an issue.
Error.
Yeah. The same issue I had last year, right?
The same issue I had last year, which it took them longer to fix this year than it did last year.
Right.
And then we had the 2.6.4 launch, which was rocky on PC also. So the last three major things that they've done in the game have been rocky or not smooth. I'm not surprised the patch went live today. I think it gave them time to fix whatever goes wrong.
Yeah.
But to me, it makes me feel like they definitely don't have the same guys doing stuff that used to do stuff. And these new guys are learning on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're getting it done, man. And my hat's off to them, because who knows what kind of project they inherited, what kind of notes they got, what kind of instructions they got, if any. So I'm not really blaming them, so to say, but it definitely puts a little bit of a bad feeling, you know?
Sure. What if it's not new people? What if you're giving them benefit of the doubt? What if it's the same people? Then what? Then what do you have to say?
What the hell are you guys doing? Like, what's going on, man? Yeah. You guys drinking a little on the job?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't imagine it's the same guys. It doesn't, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
They're playing a lot of Pokemon Go over there at Blizzard, I hear. So
they could be Pokemon going it up, you know.
Maybe they're gonna launch the patch and then like a rare Pikachu showed up and they had to go get it real quick.
Right. Yeah, right. They had some raid or something. I don't know. I haven't played Pokemon Go in like 4 years.
Right.
So but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just interesting to me. It makes me wonder if the season's going to launch on time and smoothly, you know? Like I'm nervous about that a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to be ready to go when it goes live at 7 o'clock, you know. I'll be on and doing that thing. So
someone in my chat said you're going to be playing with Dusky?
No, I'm playing with Ken Masters. Ken and I are going to level together.
Gotcha.
You want to get in on that?
24 hours?
So I don't know. Are you doing 24 hours?
I always do 24 hours.
See, I think I'm going to do like 15 and 15. Because I feel like if I do 24, I'm going to have more total downtime over the weekend than if I do a 15, get a little sleep, do another 15, get a little sleep, do another 15.
Makes sense.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's my plan.
Word.
So.
Word. Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I don't know. But the communication, I mean, at least they had communication about the patch this time. We weren't just sitting out there in silence. There was, you know, some Twitter messages that said, hey, we're having some problems with the PC patch.
Yeah, but before that, I mean, there wasn't a lot. Like, these blue posts are so few and far between these days. And they kind of tripped over themselves a lot with, like, the dates and
yeah,
saying there's going to be this time and then
yeah, it's been bad. It's been bad for sure lately. But yeah, a little slack. I don't know, man. At least they said something. Like last time, it seemed like they were just messaging people in their Twitch chats. There was no official like word from anybody. So
right.
But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like really all of the Diablo happenings. I think everybody's just kind of sitting on this anticipation of the patch going live. and getting ready to get the season started. So it's kind of been, for me personally, it's been a slow week. I did want to throw out that you guys already know this, I'm sure, but save that challenge rift for Friday. And if you don't know why to save that challenge rift, at the start of the season, if you create a new character, log out of that character, do the challenge rift, log back in, you can collect that challenge rift bounty cash, and then you can pop it, get your T13 bounty mats, get your blood shards, get your seasonal mats and death's breath, all those things, to A, gamble something from Kadala at a low level to help boost your leveling, and B, you can roll that level 70 yellow weapon with a minus level requirement, and if you get a max roll, it'd be minus 25, so you could put it on at level 45 and just blaze through content.
Sure.
So
yeah,
definitely do that. And some people like to save it for the XP with the bracers that give you XP boost and stuff. So
gross.
Lots of things you can do with it. Lots of things, but make sure you save that, and then
save
knock it out.
Your challenge rift.
Save it, guys. If you've already done it, then damn, where have you been? But should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other news though. It's not really Diablo news, so to say, but it's exciting for me as a Destiny fanboy.
Yeah, but real quick,
go ahead.
How long do you think the bots will be down?
Oh yeah, the bots. I'm gonna say a week, less than a week.
Yeah, I'll say like
that's another reason I didn't want the patch to hit today.
Is because it gives them time. Yeah.
It gives them time to fix it before the season goes live.
That's true.
What do you think, man?
Yeah, I'd say like by Sunday.
Sunday? Yeah. I really I really want there to be some anti-cheat mechanisms that go in with this patch. I just don't know. Like with all the support that it seems like there hasn't been lately, would be surprised if there is something.
Yeah.
It seems like we were teased at BlizzCon like they had something up their sleeve though, wasn't it? Do you remember that?
I remember talking to a guy. I mean, I don't know. It's just weird to talk about that because it's not like he's like, don't tell anybody, but he's just like state of things. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if it's something we should get into, but sure. I just had this feeling that we were going to get something good. Yeah. So I don't know, man.
We met the
really
guy that does kind of like the anti-cheat stuff. He was very nice.
The anti-cheat stuff. He was very nice.
So.
And the only thing I'll say is that I'm not going to say anything about the conversation, but I got the feeling that it was like, oh, we hear you and I got something coming. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sure. That's kind of the feeling I left with. And I was excited. I was like, that's what I wanted to hear. I was like, yes, but
sure.
I don't know, man. So
yeah, it sucks to talk about that,
this,
but it's something you got to think about as a.
If we talk about it historically, though, was it season 13 when they rolled the encryption on the memory for a little bit?
What's the word?
Oh
my gosh, there's a word for that.
The encryption on the memory.
Yeah. Is it the P? I don't know. All right, I give up.
I don't know, but that season was awesome, man. It took like what, 2 or 3 weeks for the bots to come back?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks.
That was like in the history of seasons. I think that might have been my favorite launch of a season.
Obfuscation.
Yeah.
Obfuscation.
Word of the day, chat. I don't know. But yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Back onto the bigger news. Yeah. The bigger news. Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Destiny lately. It's one of my, with Diablo, it's probably up there as one of my favorite games of all time. Bungie officially announced that they are splitting from Activision and retaining the rights to Destiny. They are keeping the IP. They're keeping basically every publishing rights and IP properties associated.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. That blew my mind because it came out of left field. It came out of nowhere. It was just boom. They just dropped it. And I'm like, damn, like I don't know what to think, man. I mean, there's so many bad things that could come from this, but there are so many good things too. It just makes you wonder, man. It all started that Kotaku article Jason Schreier wrote where, they basically said in one of the earnings calls that, we're not happy with the sales of Forsaken and they basically bashed Bungie a little bit. And then they had Luke Smith is one of the high up directors, and he developed Destiny 2 vanilla and Taken King on Destiny 1. He tweeted out like, we're proud of the product we put out there, and basically defended Destiny when they said that. And it was kind of like, damn, But then after the split, he tweeted out Destiny or we'll forge our own Destiny from here out. It just seemed like he was taking shots at him. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if there was some animosity that entire time, and finally Bungie was like, you know what, man? Screw you guys.
It's just weird to me because of other news, but at the same time, it's like this is what Bungie seems to do a lot. They split away from Microsoft. Obviously, didn't get to keep Halo,
right?
And now they're kind of doing it again. But I guess they learned from Halo and somehow were able to keep the rights to Destiny. So
yeah, and we don't know what the details are.
Sure.
The thing is now though, if their game doesn't sell, they close shop. It's not like if they had a bad DLC or a bad launch on Destiny 3, let's say, Activision was still funding that. So Activision lost out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Now, if they do that, Bungie's firing employees and shutting doors.
Right.
Now, I hope they got enough capital to take a hit like that if it happens.
From what I've heard, is like Activision was pressuring them to kind of come out with like a little expansion, like way too fast for them to develop like what they felt was a good product.
Yep. Their schedule was too intense.
Right.
So I agree. It's interesting though, man. I think it's really cool. I don't know, man. Like part of me, I don't want to bash Activision and blame them for the crappy product that Bungie put out on Destiny 2, because Destiny 2 vanilla was garbage. It's in a great spot now. It's so much fun. But vanilla Destiny was garbage.
Right.
And it's like if Activision forced them to put that out, well, they had like 4 years to make it. So
Sure.
What would they have just delayed it another 2 years? Like you can't do that either. So
yeah,
I don't know what, but ultimately now I think the blame falls on Bungie's shoulders. And if they put out a crappy product, that's on you, man. You can't blame anybody now.
I think the state of affairs with Bungie right now is really positive, at least. So whatever they come out with.
I think it was a great PR move. And apparently, people were cheering, Bungie employees were cheering and
oh yeah,
applauding when it happened.
Activision has to be this crude overlord. Like they just have to be.
But it makes you wonder, man, what are they doing to Blizzard? What are they doing to Blizzard? Yeah. If Bungie is a big developer. I mean, dude, Halo and Destiny are ridiculously successful franchises. If their relationship's strained enough, or they're doing something where Bungie's like, you know what, we got this, peace out. I can't imagine that Blizzard's in any better of a spot.
Right.
It's got to be the same shit. And I'm not gonna sit here and blame Activision for Diablo Immortal or the announcement, the way it went down, or the crap product that World of Warcraft is at right now. All these things.
Sure.
But it might influence it some. Like they could have influenced the Diablo Immortal announcement.
Yeah.
They're like, you gotta give us something. Like you have to announce this.
Sure.
You have to announce this. And so they're like, all right, we don't have anything to put with it, but
which is kind of weird. Because I didn't see this. This is back from June 3rd.
Yeah, I remember this. I think we talked about it on podcast. It was just very brief.
Okay.
It was just super brief.
So,
but we may not have known who NetEase was at the time.
Right. I don't think we did. So NetEase is the company behind Diablo Immortal, the mobile game. But apparently they threw $100 million at Bungie. June 3rd was when this article was released, so who knows when it was actually given. But
for a new IP.
For a new IP, which could have been, or Destiny Mobile, really. I mean,
it could be. Doesn't it scare you? It's a mobile game now.
But that makes me wonder. It's like, okay, was the pressure for this mobile push from Activision, and like, this is like, oh man,
maybe.
This is like fucking
but see,
sucks.
they're throwing money at Bungie though. Bungie's not paying them to make a mobile game. They're throwing money at Bungie, who doesn't make mobile games. So I don't think it's a mobile game personally, because of the way the money's going. Why would NetEase invest in Bungie to then make a game for Bungie? It doesn't make sense, Sure. And I don't think Bungie's got a mobile development team. So I'm interested. Anything Bungie puts out, I'm interested in. Halo was a great franchise. Right. Destiny is one of my favorite IPs ever.
It just makes me wonder. It's like, so Activision, has this push maybe for because they pushed Diablo to be like, yo, get this out on mobile because mobile games are really good, and it's kind of the same. It makes me wonder, like, okay, Activision's pressuring Bungie to hook up with NetEase and do something in the mobile market. So hopefully, I'm kind of hoping that this means that like Bungie is now out of that, because I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun and assume NetEase is like a shitty game company, but if you look at NetEase's record of games, it's not super promising.
If Bungie's developing something for them, then I'm not as nervous. And the thing is, it's a new IP, right? So if the IP sucks, who cares? You know what I mean? Destiny will still be Destiny. It should be a different team. It's like if Blizzard announced a new game at BlizzCon instead of Diablo Immortal. Let's just say they announced, I don't know, something complete new genre, a BR, for example. Right. They're like, oh, we got a BR now. We'd be like, oh, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter because...
But it does, because if that new BR is fucking dog shit garbage, like, that's bad for Blizzard. It's like, you've been spending how much dollars on this instead of the games that we love?
Right.
So it's the same thing with Bungie. Like, if they come out with a new game of shit.
I'm with you. They're borrowing $100 million that they're going to have to pay back.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm with you on that. Yeah, I hope it's, I hope it's good. I'm not as nervous yet because no announcement has been made. As soon as they announce something, it better not be a mobile game.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I don't think a PC community or a console community is ever going to be receptive to mobile games until I just don't think they will. I think Diablo Immortal and then that what was the EA one they did, the was it Command and Conquer? I forget. Fallout? Or was it I have no idea. Battlefield, Black Ops, I don't know, somebody. But it's just there's two historic. Here's a mobile game, and people are like, no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
So I hope we don't get that.
Sure.
But yeah, it was cool, man. I was excited. So, I know this is primarily a Diablo podcast, but I think that's a big ripple in the gaming industry.
I mean, this is Diablo podcast, but Activision is, this umbrella.
That's a big ripple. Right. So,
speaking of which,
let's talk about old Mikey boy.
Yeah, we've talked about him a lot, especially because you and I both got that feeling at BlizzCon that he was like, they did that photo where he like put his arm on him, and it was like really just a really weird feeling in the room. It's just like he didn't want to leave, kind of. It was like kind of like his baby.
Yeah, he looked super upset. Yeah.
And so sure enough, we heard that he was stepping down, and he's going to be like a what's the word? Like kind of a consultant
or something. Yeah.
And but now we find as of January 10th, he's like, nah, fuck that. I'm not even gonna do that.
He's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
This is just another thing for Blizzard, man. It was like, it's just stacking up at this point, isn't it?
Bizarre. It's really what it is.
Did they? I wasn't able to find a reason for his step down. Did you see anything in there? It doesn't say. Man, someday it's gonna we're gonna look back and they're gonna be like, the Blizzard in 2018. This is what went down.
Sure. That'd be sweet.
And it's gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, I can't wait for it. Jason Schreier is gonna drop the bombs on us.
Sure.
It's man, this is another Bungie or another Blizzard. Just
which again ties in to the next thing, where Activision is under investigation for fraud. So you can't help but wonder. To the two previous topics we talked about with Bungie leaving and Mike Morhaime being like, "Nah, fuck you," like this. What is going on over there?
What are they doing?
And the CFO last week, peacing out.
CFO stepped down. Yeah, man. It's interesting. I'm trying to see if they actually said what it was from, like any details on it.
I'm sure it's financial. It's got to be like most likely, and this isn't necessarily uncommon, but like investors will either have, people investigated or vice versa,
Yeah, the only thing I can find is that, they're investigating for the investors to, claiming fraud and stuff like that. So I didn't find anything super awesome about it, but it's crazy interesting. I don't know, man. I don't really know what to think of it, other than Activision's got a pretty big black eye right now, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people are feeling that way. Activision owns Blizzard. I don't think Blizzard's in the same spot Destiny is, where they can just break away.
I'm sure they could, but they would, you know, probably lose
But
stuff.
How awesome would that be?
That'd be great. I think
Blizzard was just like, peace.
Yeah, but
we're out.
It's still weird to me because it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Activision has done really well with Call of Duty for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why that relationship is just like way, way better.
Because it makes hand over fist.
Sure.
It makes $1 billion a year.
Yeah.
You know, Call of Duty has been historically the best-selling franchise ever. I think it is ever the best-selling franchise. And I remember one of the early podcasts I was looking up statistics on figures and stuff. And Call of Duty was making like $1.5 billion a year.
Jeez.
For them. That's some sick money.
Yeah.
You know. So.
But it also kind of makes me, the two stories we talked about, Bungie leaving, right? It kind of makes me also wonder, it's like, well, is Bungie leaving because like maybe Bungie did the fraud? Or is Bungie leaving because they're like, oh no, Activision's fraudy as F. So it's like, it's just weird. The whole thing's weird. It's like there's so much that could be that we'll probably never know.
Wouldn't you like to know all the details that we'll never find out, man? Like just
maybe Mike Morhaime is the causer of the fraud. Like,
and maybe he's the guy. You know, him and the CFO were in cahoots. Yeah. You know, they're doing something, and she's piecing out to whatever little, you know, eHarmony site she went to. Where did she go to? She went somewhere. We talked about it last week. I don't remember.
Yeah. Bye.
Yep. Squarespace or something, right? So I don't know, man. It's a total shit show over there. And unfortunately, the games that we love, Diablo, World of Warcraft, you know, all the Blizzard games, Destiny, things like that, it feels like they're suffering a little bit from this. So the games aren't in a great spot, and then this shit comes out with Activision and all this, and it's like, man, it just compacts. And especially after that Diablo Immortal announcement. So it's crazy. Super crazy. And then kind of in other news, not completely related, but Amazon's trying to get into the game a little bit too. I don't know if you've seen this, and I know we got something else on the schedule. We'll jump back up, but I think it ties in decently well. Amazon, IGN had an article saying that Amazon was going to start a streaming service, a gaming streaming service. What? Yeah. So, and I kind of wanted to get your opinions on this, man. I think PlayStation 5 and Xbox, whatever the next generation Xbox is, I think those could potentially be the last consoles that we get. And I know PlayStation's talked about it a little bit.
What, like a virtual
Amazon
kind of
I think what they're going to do is they're going to like sell you or lease you these little set-top boxes, or maybe it'll work with PCs. I don't know. But you stream. It's just like PlayStation Now. And I don't know if Xbox has a service for that. I think Ubisoft has like Uplay. I think they have one.
And stream to the devices.
And you're just going to stream it to your devices. And I've never tried the PlayStation version of this. I've heard the latency.
Yeah. I tried
something
have
I
you
can't
tried
get
that
over,
like
man.
It's not shadow play, but whatever it is with the NVIDIA graphics cards that you can like technically play elsewhere.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Anywhere.
I tried that and it's like holy lag, Batman. Like it was
Steam does it too. Yeah, there's like Steam.
It was bad.
Whatever. Yeah, I've seen that too. Even if you have an amazing connection to a server, you're 20 MSP, right? Maybe 15 if you're lucky. Your latency from your controller to your console is, less than 1 millisecond at worst. I just don't see how with the 20 ms ping you're going to play Mario. You're going to platform. You're going to get the input, and then you're talking about fidelity. Are you going to play 4K? How you can't stream that? It's just like watching a Twitch stream. Like the best quality you're possibly going to get is if you watch one of our streams that is running at 6K, with crazy encoding going on behind the scenes. They're not going to give that much power to every single user.
Right.
I just don't see how this is going to be a thing. But I think it's going to be a thing because they're going to force it on us. I think eventually this is how we're going to get games. They're not going to release games to us anymore.
Like we're not going to be able to download games. It's only going to be through the streaming service.
Yeah. I think you're going to have to pay streaming
how
services.
How shitty would that be? It's like
I think
Halo
it's
6
happening.
you can only get on like some
Exactly. And I don't think I think it's going to take 10 years for this to become a thing, but I really think by 2025, 2030, that's how you're going to get games. And I think PCs will be the same too. You're just going to lease PC power, server storage, whatever, through the web. But it's shitty to me, man. I'm not happy about this. And then this also raises more questions, right? So Amazon owns Twitch.
Right.
So what if Amazon says, okay, we're launching our streaming service. We're going to buy the rights to, Amazon's got so much money. They could buy whatever they want.
Sure.
So, okay, you know what, EA, we like your games. We're going to get an exclusive contract to where your games are only downloadable or streamable through our service. And then on top of that, you can only stream your games on Twitch. So fuck you, Facebook and YouTube. Get some. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then YouTube's going to get pissed off because Google's got money too. And they're going to be like, all right, Uplay, I like your stuff. I'm going to get an exclusive contract where only, streamers that stream on Mixer can stream the YouTube stuff or YouTube Live or whatever, YouTube's thing. And it's going to, I mean, like I said, I'm taking this too far, I'm sure in my head, but it's just, to me, it's like, man, I really hope they don't go down this path, dude.
It would really suck. It really sucks. It's like all we're trying to do is just like stream games, have a good time. And right now, like Twitch is undoubtedly the best platform for that. But it would suck to have to choose in the future. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I gotta stream on YouTube or Mixer or whatever. And like in the back of your mind, like, well, would I have been more successful had I started streaming on Twitch instead of ugh.
Yeah, it'd be bad. Like I said, man, this is a long ways off, and by that point in time, who knows what the future will hold. But it's just, this is something that I'm surprised isn't happening already. Because think about the music rights, the way the music rights go right now. Yeah. Like if you're streaming and you put music on, you can get in trouble. Not only can you get in trouble, they'll mute your stream, they'll take your stream down, they can ban your stream for music, right? So if you're playing a game that contains those songs, you can get it muted too. Like let's say you throw in Madden, and Madden's got the latest, they always have new popular tracks. Sure. You're getting muted from that. So I don't know, man. It just seems like this is a slippery slope that's just going to go more downhill because you can't stream movies and things. So if Activision is like, you know what, if Twitch is going to give us more money to only allow people to stream games on their platform, why do we care? Do it. Right. You know what I mean? Or Mixer, like Microsoft is like, you know what, Halo 6 can only be streamed on Mixer because they own Mixer. You know what I mean? Like they could do it though. That's scary to me. And as a content creator, it's like that would be a nightmare. Once that starts to go down, it would be a nightmare. Yeah. But it's already happens with music, Right. So I don't know why it's that outlandish to think it would happen with a video game. So
net neutrality. Oh god.
Oh my god. I hope not. So anyways, that's just something to think about. But Amazon's going to start a streaming video game service, so you guys better look into it. I definitely think that's going to be the future. And in the next 10 to 15 years, that's all people are going to offer. It's just like Netflix and those streaming services are kind of taking away DVD sales.
Sure. On the one hand, it's great because it's like it makes things accessible. Because I assume it's gonna be like way cheaper to get it like a little streaming thing than build a crazy game PC. But at the same time, for us people that absolutely love this kind of thing and have crazy gaming rigs and stuff like that, and hate any kind of latency, like even 1 millisecond.
And if you have your $15 a month subscription fee or whatever it turns out to be, and you can play any game, so I can be like, hey, let's play this tonight, guys. And everybody's like, oh, cool, I got that, because we have the service. So there are definitely some pluses and minuses. Sure. So I guess we'll have to see where high-speed internet takes us in the next 10 years. If you think about 10 years ago, the internet you had then versus what you have now, though, it's insane, at least for me. Yeah. I'm going from 5 meg internet to 1,000. Yeah. So it's pretty nuts. So who knows in 10 years where we'll be sitting. Right. So latency may not be an issue. But jumping back up a little bit, speaking of changes and things, like the evolution of ARPGs is something that I know you wanted to talk about a little bit.
Reddit, and I thought it was pretty interesting. But it's basically like it kind of shows you, like, okay, boom, we have Diablo from 1997. What it looked like, which I mean, it looks not good.
Horrible. By today's standards,
By today's standards, looks terrible. Then Diablo 2 looks a little better.
Like, I don't remember Diablo 2 looking that bad.
Yeah,
you
dude.
know, like in my mind, I remember it being like, oh, this is dope.
No,
you know, but look at how he walks. Look at it.
It's just like straight left and right. There's no like, yeah, it's weird. So weird. And then flash forward, we have Dungeon Siege 2, 2005. I actually remember this. I think I
didn't play this one.
My girlfriend at the time to like buy me a PC just so I could play this.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Titan Quest 2006 looks. I mean, it looks a little better. This is probably like
comparatively to Diablo 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 6 years. That's kind of crazy.
Torchlight, super cartoony, kind of their thing.
Yeah,
but it looks okay. You know,
no Baldur's Gate on there. Surprising me.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not like all of them, but it just kind of gives you. And then boom, Diablo 3, which I still think looks really good as far as ARPGs are concerned. And it's probably, like we said, like still has the bandwidth to really continue for like at least another 5 years if they wanted to. With
I agree.
This engine. Flash forward, what's gonna be at the Torchlight 2, 2012. It's kind of like, it looks good. It's just super effing cartoony, which is just not my thing. PoE, which you think looks great. You always talk about how good the graphics are. And they've come a long way. Like, if they just posted a screenshot on their Twitter that was like, everyone's doing that like 2000 blah to now or whatever, the change, how they look.
Yeah.
And PoE kind of did the same thing. It's pretty significant.
That's cool.
But it still doesn't look great. I'm with you. Adventures of Van Helsing. Woo. Never
even heard of that game.
Never even heard
I never even heard of it till this.
Interesting.
It's interesting. I wonder if it's good.
It's probably like a single player kind of thing. But
it looks all right.
Marvel Heroes. David Bruckner.
Man, I wish this game would have been better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
This was something
picking static characters. I don't know. I guess it could be cool.
I was excited for it when it came out. I thought it had potential, but it just didn't catch me.
Sure.
You know? So.
Fast forward, Grim Dawn, which I think is probably like the third best NA ARPG on the market. Obviously doesn't have the end game that PoE and Diablo have, which is why it kind of fails for me, but it's a really good game if you haven't tried it.
I haven't played Grim Dawn.
It's going to end with Lost Ark. The Beast Lost Ark. Ridiculous graphics. Man. Combat's so good. Can't wait for
I hope that comes NA. Oh my gosh. You know, they had the reports about it coming to NA, but it just doesn't feel official to me yet. Like, have they straight up on their website or their Twitter said that?
You know, I don't really. I have actually like the I don't know, the thirst for this game has kind of died since the past month. Because people are like, well, it's good. We all like it. But it's like, well, it's only in Korean right now. So, like, people like, it's like, for me, like, people are like, you should play more Lost Ark. And I want to. It's just like, I don't want to burn myself out.
For when it comes over.
Yeah, for when it comes here. And there's still definitely a lot of things they could fix. And
it looks Western. Beautiful, man.
Yeah,
it looks like such an awesome game. So
the comments.
That's a pretty cool video.
Yeah, I
pretty
thought
cool
that
video.
Was interesting. It just showed you like
where we. Whose YouTube was that?
That was.
Let's give him a shout out.
Yeah. DNS Gaming.
DNS Gaming. Good job, DNS Gaming. I like it, sir. But yeah, it has come a long ways. And if you look back, man, I remember I never played Diablo 1. I heard about it on PlayStation way back in the day. I heard about it on PlayStation, not PC. But Diablo 2, you know, like I said, I did my one run through and it was okay. You know,
I can't believe I only did one.
I remember it looking so much cooler than that, though. I remember playing it and being like, "This is the shit," you know. And now it's just kind of like, "Ooh, yikes," you know. But I guess you look back at even PlayStation 3 games and you're like, "Oh, that looks pretty crappy," you know.
Sure.
So our memories screw with us quite a bit there.
Right. But I mean, playing Diablo 2, there's not a lot of games that stand out. It's like Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, it's like a big one. Diablo 2, I think, is probably the biggest one for me.
Final Fantasy 7 was built in a way that the graphics don't really take away from the game to me. They did it in a cartoonish way that makes it okay. But like Final Fantasy 8, they tried to do more realistic. And I think if you go back and play 8, I love 8, by the way, which doesn't get a lot of praise, but it's might be my favorite. But 7 is still playable today because the graphics are cheesy and they're supposed to be cheesy. 8, they tried to do realistic, and it's like, damn, that looks horrible now.
I don't see really any difference between, like, Final Fantasy 7 looks like shit now. Diablo 2 looks like shit now. Their gameplay is fantastic, but they look like shit, and it's really hard to go back and play them.
I could still play 7. I don't know. Maybe it's just my game, though.
That's the thing about 7. It's like they're finally gonna remake it. Hopefully, I think this year. They're going to finish it
up. Shit. They've been talking about that for years. I'm so down when that comes out, though.
Yeah.
I'm taking vacation and going ham on that
But,
game.
like, man, I don't even own a PlayStation 4 or whatever it is. Fuck.
They're going to make it on Xbox also, right? You have a couple of those laying around.
Will they?
I think so. Maybe. I think so. I could be wrong about that, but I think so. I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
That'll be a good one.
So let's get back into a little bit. You know, we got Diablo 3 coming. The season's gonna hit Friday.
Yeah.
I've been hearing, like, I did a little research and I couldn't find exactly how to do it, but people in my chat have been telling me that there are exploits with the Tristram event
for XP
that are allowing people to level super fast.
Yeah.
Like under an hour to level 70. Have you heard about this?
I mean, I know you get stupid XP while you're in the Tristram event. I don't really follow XP because to me it's like, you can get to level 70 faster. It's like, well, okay, cool. It's like, you know,
I don't really care. Like, I'm not trying to set a world record anyways. Like, I'm gonna grab my boys and we're gonna just have a good time. You know what I mean?
And it's like what was it, 2 seasons ago? We all kind of raced a little bit, you know, unofficially.
Yeah. Unofficially, but it kind of just organically happened. We didn't just talk about it until we were like, oh shit, we're really close. Let's do this thing.
Right. But it was like then, it's like, you might beat me to 70, but oh my God, my Paragon after day 1 is gonna be stupid. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm rather set myself up to get crazy fast Paragon than to be the first to 70. I don't know. It's kind of like the race. Like, the race never appealed to me in PoE, and like a XP level wouldn't really appeal to me in Diablo.
Do you think if there are cheesy ways with the Tristram event, do you think Blizzard should have done something about it or not included it?
I mean,
in the season,
for sure, but
I mean, I guess everybody has access to it, but at the same time, it's like people don't know about it.
Yeah, I don't think the Curse of Tristram should probably be on season. Like, that's just like something you do. I don't know.
And I guess the question is then, are you gonna? I mean, we could get the transmog for you could get. We already have the cow, already have the portrait frame. You could get the gem, which you won't use.
Yeah.
Trying to think, is there anything else in there worth getting? Just, I guess not.
Pets
for transmog.
Yeah, transmog.
I don't know. So that was something that was interesting to me.
I don't know.
You know,
it doesn't.
And then
ultimately, it's like Brevik kind of said. It's like the level to 70 is basically meaningless at this point. So it's like, I don't know. If people figure out a way to instantly level 70, it's like whatever. Because it's just like, it's such a almost meaningless point. You know, like a moot point to do in Diablo at this point. So it's whatever. I don't really care.
So, yeah, it is so trivial. Once you play the campaign, it doesn't matter ever again.
Right.
You know, I mean, I guess if you enjoy the story, like, I haven't done the campaign legitimately in 5 years or more.
And that's why people always make me a bad guy.
I don't care.
Because I'm like,
I don't care about it.
Stop wasting development time on campaigns. Because no one fucking plays them more than one time. And everyone's like, well, how can you make a Diablo? Well, look at this, man. Like, if you're still here, you're not still playing Diablo because the campaign's awesome. Like, not even close. So
I agree with you. I agree. And like I agree with you to an extent.
I know no one wants to agree, but you kind of have to.
But you have to have that story to set up the immersion of the game. You know what I mean? Like, we're in there slaying demons because they're bad. Why are they bad? Well, let's make a story that explains why they're bad.
Do they have to be bad for you to want to kill them? Why can't the gameplay just be fun? I don't know.
I just fuck demons is the name of the game.
Fuck demons.
Fuck demons. Oh my God.
No.
So I don't know, man. I'm with you a little bit, but that being said, I think Destiny 2 had a great campaign and I think it was awesome and I'm glad it's there. But how much development time went into it? crazy amounts for something that I've played through 3 different times on 3 characters, and I'll never go back and do it again. And if I did have to do it again, I won't like it. I'll be like, this sucks. I want to get through it. But the first initial experience is amazing. So it's like, is that experience worth end game content?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. And then one last thing. We're going to get to some Twitter questions really soon. Sure. But man, the hype train has started for me for Division 2.
Already? When is that? When was that supposed to come out?
Full-fledged. March 15th, I think. 2 months. I think 2 months today, maybe.
So the thing I never
already bought it.
Division,
I bid in.
Like the Dark Zone or whatever. I mean, are they doing something better this time around?
I don't really know what they're doing with the Dark Zone. The game, like, I bid into the hype, and I pre-purchased it, and I learned my lesson on that. I got Destiny so many times over. I bought myself and my kids copies and PC copies and all the copies. Man, I spent way too much money on that game. But I did it, and I've been playing Division 1 to like get reacclimated with the game, to like get my feeling back, you know, so when Division 2 comes out, I don't feel like a complete noob. I've been loving it, man. Like, that game's loot system, they copied so much shit from Diablo, it still blows my mind. They have random gear that drops with random rolls, just like Diablo.
Yeah.
They have their version of an ancient/primal system in the game, where you can get gear that drops classified, which is primal, you know, or ancient, I should say. They have upgradable items. You can reroll attributes one time, just like Kadala. Or not Kadala, like the Enchantress. You can spend currency like Kadala and gamble for things that you want. I mean, it's just like, if you took Diablo's loot mechanics, threw it in a third-person shooter, that's the game. So it sucks it had such a shitty launch and they didn't get it right till 8.1, but I'm super excited for Division 2 when it comes out. So
yeah,
it's my hype train right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's my hype train.
Loot and shoots, I don't know. We'll see.
Let's get to some Twitter questions.
Yeah.
Onion asks,
oh God,
are you going to be playing Season 16 casually?
I mean, we kind of touched on this a little bit already. I foresee myself going, I mean, I'm not going to go like crazy ham. I don't know. I can't really speak to that, but because I don't have a job right now. But I don't know. It's hard to think. It just depends on how much the game has changed. The game, after all these changes, hasn't really even changed that much. Other than the fact that on every other class besides Necro, you have more options to push, which is amazing. It's just unfortunate for me, the person that loves like Necro more than anything. So it's like, I don't know. Will the other classes really pique my interest when they never really did before? I don't know.
I say it's, I don't know. I'm enjoying a lot of other things lately since I started branching out and playing other games more. I'm excited for this season for sure. I can't see myself ever going as hard as I used to because I just don't think the appeal is going to be there. So I'm going to go hard for a couple weeks and then we'll see. If I'm having a great time, then yeah. And if my interest dies, then I'm going to be pretty quick to jump to back to, you know, Destiny, Division, those games.
Sure.
So
have you been playing Division?
I have, man. I haven't been streaming it, but I've been playing it offline. Yeah, because I wanted to get myself ready for D2, and then at the same time, I didn't want to stream a game that I
you can't say D2, okay? Efficient. Now everyone's saying I know there's Diablo 2, Destiny 2,
Diablo 2, Destiny 2, Division 2. I didn't want to stream Division 2 and be a complete noob. You know, I wanted to get my feet wet offline. But yeah, I've been playing a lot lately, so it's been fun. Eddie says, if you had an option, the same as hardcore/season on character creation for SSF only, with the stash is shared with season, but Paragon is separate, and they introduced a leaderboard for SSF, group, or normal, would it become more competitive, or will bots still run them?
Wait, what?
So that's kind of a loaded question, but he's asking if you could make an SSF character that shared stash. That in itself is broken.
Yeah,
because you would grind your stash on your non-SSF characters, and then you would give it to your SSF. So I'm just going to take that out, and I'm going to say, if you had the option to make an SSF only character, with separate Paragon and loot, would it be more competitive? I think bots would still run it. Yeah, unless as long as botting is a thing, it's going to run every board.
Sure.
Because every single leaderboard will have an advantage over somebody that doesn't bot. Therefore, people will bot if they have the option to.
I would love an official capacity for SSF, honestly, because I mean, you group a lot, but I don't. Like, I don't really love it. So I mean, I would love that, honestly. And you could, it'd be the kind of same as like, well, you kind of know who's botting to an extent, unless they're just not going crazy with it.
SSF would be really good for the game, and I think Diablo 4 needs to have it.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely see myself doing an SSF character as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Right. But I don't think bots would be affected whatsoever.
Right. So. It would still be that.
And to stress that though, you couldn't share stash with SSF between your non-SSF characters, because you would grind all the gear on your non-SSF and transfer it over.
But it's like what we said last week though. It's like, I still would love this. Like, if you could start hardcore, like, and your character died, and you roll over to seasonal, not hardcore seasonal. Like, that would be so fucking great. I would love that.
Yep. I agree. I think that should be a thing. We talked about that last week. Yeah. You know, people were talking about it.
So fun.
I think that should definitely be a thing as well. That should be a quality of life change that they could make, where you could rebirth that dead character non-season.
Right.
Or even if they limited it, like seasonal. That's what I meant.
Yep.
Even if they limited it, like you get 2 rebirths a season, you know, like, okay, give me 1 or 2 of those.
Sure.
You know, that'd be okay. I prefer it to be non-limited, so I can just go forever. But even if it was, Nightwolf said, imagine. Okay, so I kind of churned this into a question because it's not really, but he said, imagine if the same thing happened with Diablo/Blizzard as happened with Bungie/Activision. So he's saying if Diablo split away from Blizzard.
Oh, Diablo split away from Blizzard.
Yeah, I think that's what it sounds like he's asking. So that'd be
juicy.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? You've never had a game IP switch pull out from a company that I can think of. But
what, the dev team just branches out?
The dev team was just like, yo, let's pool our money together and buy this thing. Let's do this. Yeah. And Blizzard was like, okay. It would never happen, but I don't even really know how to think about that, because that's not even a thing that could happen, I don't think. Right. But Blizzard separating from Activision, I think would be amazing. Yeah, that'd be personally
a good thing for them.
Let Blizzard run their own ship again and not have to worry about meeting Activision.
But then we would feel like we'd finally know who is the idiot in that relationship.
Yeah,
because they branch off and Blizzard still does a bunch of dumb shit. It's like, well,
just
I guess Blizzard was the idiot.
It was Blizzard. I mean, the same thing could happen with Bungie too. Sure. Bungie could still put out shit product, or let's just say Bungie's timetable goes to garbage now. Let's say we don't get an expansion for fucking 2 years. You know, well then, you know, would you rather have shitty expansions every 3 months or no expansion for 3 years? I don't know. You know, I don't know, man. Such a tough question. But yeah, it would be interesting to see a video game pull out from the developer. I don't know how that would even happen, but
I would. Okay, in the case of Diablo, and we've kind of talked about issues around this before, but like, do I really trust like the developers of Diablo to make another really good Diablo? I don't know. So like, with Diablo separating from Blizzard, would that be like a good thing for the game?
Yeah, it depends on who's responsible for what we got right now. Sure. Because the management team, I think, made poor decisions with Diablo 3's future.
Yeah,
they left it in a really bad state. There's no communication. Their patches can't even launch successfully clean at this point. The only good thing they've done with the game, it seems at this point, is they launched it on Switch. You know, like, that's cool.
Sure.
And I'm happy for all the Switch guys out there, but yeah, I'm with you. I don't think that they could do, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that they need somebody to direct them and lead them to the future, you know. Demonic Grizz says, how long do you honestly think that the new balance patch will hold community support? Not our support, but community support.
I think it'll have the same life expectancy that most small patches do. Like, it's going to be good this season. People are going to like it this season. I think the Roar buff is going to get people excited for the season, and it'll be fine. But
I think it being a shorter season also puts less of a gap between botters and non-botters, even though there's still going to be one.
Yeah.
It's not as bad. And I think that might keep people tied in that are interested in leaderboards. And those people that don't care about leaderboards, I think they'll have fun playing a lot of variety of classes. So I think it'll last for, I'm going to say 6 to 8 weeks, which if it's a 2-month season, that's 8 weeks. Yeah. So, you know, maybe the entire season. And I think Blizzard is also in control of their hype. Like if they give us at 4 to 5 weeks or 6 weeks out, check out the seasonal theme for next season. And the seasonal theme is actually a good seasonal theme.
Sure.
And maybe on top of that, they're like, hey, we did a legendary pass this season. Check this out. I think the season will stay strong the entire time.
Yeah.
And then people would get super hyped for the PTR and the next season. And they could continue this train of building back good graces with the community and a hype train. But that all falls on Blizzard. Yeah. And if they don't have people developing the game actively right now, you know, let's say that this season comes and goes, and then next season we get some really shitty seasonal theme, then boom, it's all gone. Right. You know what I mean? All gone.
Yeah. So. I think that's definitely true. It's like if even, I don't know, if we play the whole season, I feel like we're more likely to play the whole season if we know that juice is coming next season. But at the same time, at the flip side of that coin, they could be like, well, what's the point in playing? Like, I know all this good stuff's coming, so like, I don't really like. I'm not really inspired to log in right now. So it's like, it's kind of like maybe like
double-edged too. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I think we'll see. We'll see. I think that this season has the potential, at least in the last 2 years, to hold support throughout the entire season as if it's 2 months.
Right.
So if they do the exact same thing they did last season, like, oh, we're extending it by an extra couple of weeks at the end of the season. I think that kills it because people really set their mental state of, okay, I'm going to push, I'm going to play, I'm going to grind for 2 months. And then this is my finish line. And then it's like, if you're running a race and that finish line instantly gets moved out a mile back, you're like, what the fuck?
Sure.
I paced myself for this race and now the race is not this race anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that kills things.
Sure.
So I really hope they can stick to the schedule.
And it's definitely like, so if they, say for the next 6 months to a year, they continually show us like, okay, every season we're going to get actually new content and like not repeat last year. I think the people will be a lot more motivated to continue to play like constantly.
Yep.
Whereas like last year, if it's like, if we don't get it, we don't really know where we sit. And at the end of these 3 months, like we still don't have any patch notes or something like that. And they keep us in the dark, then people are going to get pretty bored pretty quick.
For sure. TFOS says, at this point, does it surprise anybody that there are issues with the PC patch today? Nope. Not at all, man. Not at all. You know what's funny is like, okay, so I expected the patch today, but I was pretty busy at work, and so I didn't really see anything. But then I was, checking Twitter at lunch, and I saw people saying like, we're gonna do the patch, and I'm like, oh, the patch is confirmed today. And they're like, well, it's confirmed on console, but not PC. And then I'm like, okay, so let me start Googling and looking it up. And when I read the notes where it's like, PC issues, we're going to get it fixed as soon as possible, I was like, man, I knew it. I fucking knew it. Right. Like, I just knew it. And it makes me scared for the season start on Friday. What if they do the same thing like PTR, where it's like season 12 and then they start fast forwarding the season? Season 13, season 14, and where you have to wait 2 hours.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be the worst. But
scary.
How hard could it be? Come on.
Scary. Jiggleboob says, I've been grinding Forgotten Souls to reroll legendaries in the cube. Do you think the number of Forgotten Souls should be lowered or stay the same? It's currently at 50.
I mean, in the current state of the game, no. But we've talked about in the past, is like, well, if they kind of reduce the amount of legendaries that we saw and made legendaries better overall, then yes, we should change the cube recipe accordingly. But as it stands right now, I mean, I think it's pretty okay. Like, you usually run out of Forgotten Souls and DBs.
Yeah, the Forgotten Soul grind is legit this season because we had the double bounties, right?
Yeah, sure.
Normally, you don't get to re-roll that much.
Right.
Forgotten Souls usually aren't my limiting factor. It's almost always Death's Breath and the bounty mats, right?
Right.
At least for me personally. But this season, 100% Forgotten Souls is what killed me. I don't think that'll be the same. I'm okay with it taking I think the cost is pretty appropriate to reroll. I think the percentages of you to get a primals are pretty valuable, right?
Yeah.
And I think the cost it takes to make them is pretty on point. I don't think it should be something that you should easily get, you know? So
sure.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. That's all the questions we had this week. So
Easy.
If you guys want to submit questions to us, you can join my Discord. You can join Fluffy's Discord.
Mm-hmm.
You can hit us up on Twitters and shoot your questions at us that way. So easy ways to get your Twitter questions out to us. They don't always have to be Diablo rated. If you have other questions, shoot them at us, man. Mm-hmm. Shoot them at us. I like the funny ones too. So
yeah. So what'd you do to get the love letter written? That's my question for next week.
I can't answer that, man. If you guys haven't seen this, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't seen this, if you want to see a man get completely destroyed and his will crushed.
I've never seen you laugh. Like, we laughed a pretty good amount at BlizzCon, and you laughed so fucking hard in that video.
Oh my God, dude. It was so funny. Yeah. I think it was like just embarrassment, dude. You know, like I was legit 100% super crazy embarrassed. That's probably the most embarrassed I've been in years. I mean, that's a personal thing. So like, in case you guys missed the start, my wife read a love letter to my stream live. So it was one that I had a legit letter from me to her, where I had done something to piss her off, and it was my apology letter to, you know, she dumped me. Like, this was when we were first dating. Sure. This was a long time ago, but yeah, she had dumped me, and this was my woo her back letter, and she kept it and she read it on stream. God, it was so embarrassing. So it's funny though.
Yeah.
Funny. So yeah, man, welcome back. Thanks, to the new stream. The new stream setup looks dope, man.
Yeah.
I like the pink you got going on in the background.
Yeah.
Looks sick, man.
Stupid amount of time. Like, honestly, 3.5, 4 weeks straight. It was just like, I haven't even really worked on the rest of my house. Just this room.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I saw you try to put a bed together. It looked wonderful.
Yeah, I did. I did put it together and it looked great. It just collapsed on a poor 80-year-old woman, Lindsay's grandmother.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, dudes. That's going to be the podcast. It's kind of short one this week from all the stuff we had going on.
Sure.
But we'll be back next Tuesday with more podcast love and some feedback on the season and how things are going.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to catch more of me, I am going to be streaming right after the podcast ends. You can find me at ThaPChild on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. And I'm Lord_Fluffy, double those underscores on the Twitter. That's it. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out, dude.
Peace.